Agile teams are no longer limited to IT departments. As Agile progresses throughout the various business units, Agile teams need to find a way to organize themselves. Hello, I'm Martin, and today I'm going to share with you how to create a sandbox for your Agile team. They are referred to as squads, pods, chapters, or scrum teams. But no matter what they are called, Agile teams are different from traditional teams. For one thing, to be successful and highly performing, Agile teams are typically self-organizing, which means that they have much more autonomy than traditional teams. But how much autonomy should an Agile team be given? That's where defining a sandbox becomes extremely useful. If your organization is moving toward Agile, establishing a team sandbox is a powerful way to establish balance between accountability and autonomy in order to increase the team's performance and avoid potential misunderstanding. The sandbox makes it possible to orient the actions of the team members towards a common goal while respecting the organizational constraints. The sandbox allows the team to define how it wishes to collaborate in order to reach its objectives. An important note: although the team is responsible to establish their team sandbox, this activity is usually done in collaboration between the team and the manager in order to avoid potential conflicts and misunderstanding in terms of who is responsible for what. The sandbox definition begins with the mission. The mission of the team specifies how the team contributes to the success of the organization. It basically aims to answer the question, why does your team exist? Here are a few questions to help you define your team's mission. Next comes the clarification of the objectives. The objectives basically state what the team aims to accomplish. They are desired outcomes that the team is committed to achieving. The objectives typically include measurable elements and a time frame. Here are a few questions to help you define your team's objectives. The third side of the sandbox are the constraints. The constraints represent the level of autonomy that has been delegated to the team by the manager, as well as the resources allocated to the team so that it can achieve its objectives. In addition, in certain regulated environments, the constraint may also be laws or regulation that the team must comply with. Here are a few questions to help you define the constraints your team will have to accept. Transferring responsibilities from the manager to the Agile team is a gradual process. The delegation of accountability is therefore a form of constraints for the team. To support the Agile team, a template, such as this one, can be used to clearly determine the responsibilities of the team and those of the manager. Together, the team and the manager agree on who will be responsible for what. Clearly specifying the areas of accountability reduces misunderstanding, confusion, and potential frustration. The fourth side of the sandbox are the operating norms. The norms describe how the team works and what behaviors are acceptable and expected. The operating norms are probably the most interesting element for the team members. They are similar to membership rules and are very useful to support collaboration and reduce potential conflicts among team members. Here are a few questions to help you define your operating norms. Highly performing teams are intentional in defining the way they wish to work together. They typically have answers to most of these questions. The last component of the sandbox are the clients. Customer centricity is one of the fundamental pillars of Agile. In order to put the clients at the center of the team's decisions and actions, the team needs to clearly understand who their clients are. While the company's customers are the people who agree to pay for the services offered by the company, the team's clients are the people, often internal to the organization, the team is serving. Here are a few questions to help you identify your clients. At first, defining your team's sandbox may seem a little bit confusing and overwhelming, but that's normal, especially if you're new to an Agile team. As team members work together over time, The operating norms are likely to change. Therefore, it's important to keep updating the sandbox to accurately reflect the way the team actually wants to operate.